Hi everyone, Neko Noodles here, and today we'll be going back into the game Don't Eat the Cashier. This is part 2. If you have not seen part 1, I suggest you watch it so you'll know what the story is, what the characters are. So, let's jump right back into this. Let's go. Boop. He seems unwell. I hope he doesn't knock over my shelves of shampoo with jojoba oil and delicate lilies on his way. He's not just unwell, he looks like hell. Literally. All the skin on the left side is torn off from his jaw to his temple. I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone who could rip me apart if he doesn't like what he hears. I need to be careful if I don't want to become the next victim. Oh. You look like the Terminator at the end of the second movie, buddy. How's life silent? Well, looks like... let's see. Let's try this one. That thumb is going to end up in your ass. Given the threat in that tone, not just a thumb, I don't think any further in that direction. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man without half his face. He clears his throat, but doesn't help much. I need blood. He tried to smile. It would be charming if he still had all the necessary muscles for that. Now it will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client pauses again briefly to clear his throat. Let me see what we have. Yeah, good choice, babe. Step aside to the storage, just in case. He suddenly leans forward, boring into me with his remaining eye. Go find me some goddamn blood. A strange pressure builds in my head, and edges of the vision blur. Unyielding command blossom in the center of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel incredibly strong urge to find blood right now. My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible, or is it his own? I found myself in a storage room, a tangle of labyrinth of shelves reaching up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. Right now at the very beginning of the crazy place. Hmm. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know which option to choose. Let's try. Let's try this. Next to the issues of Cosmopolitan and National Geographic lie Endercombe of Dove's tabloid and the tabloids named Global Conspiracy that turned out to be true, and a tome of Necronomicon for the whole family. On the floor I found a gothic novel about forbidden love with a vampire, bearing incredibly dramatic title. I hear knocking. It's a dry rhythmic tapping of knuckles on the laminate countertop. It's not loud, but persistent and full of irritation. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Oh, let's see. Let's try this. These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of the department entrances, there's some baby food for cyborgs piled up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. What are these options? Here are the endless shelves of drinks. Next to the Coca-Cola are bottles labeled liquid regret and Promaridel broth with nickel diets. Cans labeled Propsy vodka and Sol Chico. I'd love to meet the person who came up with these names. I check each shelf, pushing aside cans of essence of shits and giggles, but find nothing resembling blood. The closest thing is liquid hemotogen in a giant wooden container. It smells worse than it looks. I go back. Maybe it's about regeneration or something else, but he seems better because I hear impatient footsteps. Great, he's fidgeting. He can't sit still anymore. This isn't just impatient, it's anxiety, and I really don't like where this anxiety could lead him. I need to hurry. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. The aisle is crammed with chips, pasta, crackers, jerky, and chocolate bars. All the usual stuff if you don't look too closely. Next to the Doritos bag is a pack of crystallized whales, resembling translucent stone lollipops. Cans of peas huddled together in fear as I pass by another shelf, nervously glancing around. I quickly scan the shelves. There's no blood here unless you count the dried stain on the nutritional bricks package. I need to go back. Not a sound. Where did he go? Did he die? There was no sound of fall, and he didn't leave. I would have heard the footsteps. Where did my client go? I really don't like any of this. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. The coldest corner of the store. Large freezer chests and refrigerators with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen pizzas are gremlin cryo capsules, and among the buckets of ice cream you can find flavors like minty triton and liquid family. Oh my god. A huge freezer chamber. This section reeks of formaldehyde and horror. Glass jars filled with murky liquids sit on the shelves where exhibits float. I try not to think about one of the containers holding a name card that reads Kevin. This one, I guess? I don't even understand why, but this blood looks profoundly sad. It probably tastes sadder than it figures. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. Give me that now! He growled at me? He snatches his dinner from my hand so quickly that I didn't have time to realize what happened. Having drained the jar with Kevin, he pulls away from his lips. A strange expression crosses his face. Frowning, he peers at the label. Well, you're just a poor, sad bastard, Kevin. I never drunk anything more pathetic in my life, and believe me, I once devoured a low-level office worker. The guy, dreamed his whole life of being useful to someone, but in the end, he turned out to be as useful as my snack. So, I've drunk the blood of a virgin for the first time in my life. Honestly, it tastes worse than the usual stuff. I don't get what all these old-timers are so obsessed with. Cool that you found the human blood. Good job, you're sharp. Really? You're wrong there, babe. The closest was your carcass. So you can thank your lucky stars that you're still alive. You're clearly tastier than a rat. In a way, that's a compliment. I'm going to wash my dirty face. Don't get bored. While he's not here, I have the perfect opportunity to wipe away the blood stains. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. A wonderful tale. I am doing just fine. No one has eaten me. He's looking so much fresher with the second half of his face, although his expression still resembles of that constipated owl. I'll just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. Ooh. And just, you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head, crush it like a walnut. I'm David, by the way, a vampire, as you may already guessed. Ooh! Wait, his design looks so good. Ooh. What incredibly interesting way to start an acquaintance, especially that part of the walnut. Or like a stripper, cool. But your badge says nickel. That's for conspiracy. Aha, you're one of those, huh? Conspiracy theories. Where's your tinfoil hat? It was stolen by the aliens and collected. Ah, I got it. Unpleasant customers, I suppose. It seems it seems I've puzzled him. That happens often to people. I can't blame them for anything. Now I have vampires here, and he's regenerating. Wonderful. The main thing is not to accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. Is that Ruffles? What the hell is that? I'm no Ruffles. What is that? Some French insult? His expression in his outfit suggested him to wear a maid's outfit. He'll defend that word, that letter monstrosity is at the cost of his life, that's obvious. Ruffles are not just a piece of clothing. They're concentrated strike at right the core of his cold vampire persona. I don't wear any ruffles. I'm just 24 years old. From the look on his face, it's clear he didn't understand a single word of that. Ruffles are like a lace bib for adults. I wonder what grade did he drop out of school. You do realize I didn't come here to listen to lecture on fashion from the time of King Arthur, right? Or whoever invented your ruffles. I'm barely managing to stop myself from going on about how it wasn't King Arthur who invented ruffles. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand down much. Probably not all wounds have healed completely, and does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob said it was mandatory. Let me help? He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably foreign and unexpected to him. That it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. You... what? You want to play nurse? A flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. It's just a couple of scratches and a little piece of ass that will grow back on its own. I'm fine. Afraid? I'm not afraid of anything in this life. I'm the most fearless bloodsucker in the world. I'm not afraid of some nurse with crooked hands. I've dealt with such crap that you... Wait a second. Are you trying to challenge me? I shake my head with the most sincere look of innocence on my face. Fine, damn it. Hand over your first aid kit. If another werewolf isn't hiding in there, I have no reason to worry. I decide to keep quiet about the very possibility that there might be a werewolf hiding in there. I'm not sure of anything at this cursed gas station. Damn you, go ahead. Get your band-aids with Dr. Chocolate or whatever you're selling. Oh? David sheds his jacket, shirt, and t-shirt, then settles onto the squeaky stool next to the counter. He's about to face a serious trial, staying at vulnerable position for a few minutes. For some reason, cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he's gonna throw into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite interesting past, or maybe he was attacked by werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know the corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available to me now is the coroner. I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's a heavy military-style metal box with a faded label reading kit for alternatively living organisms. Inside, besides the standard bandages, there were some strange items: silver tweezers, vials of thick glowing liquid, additional fingers, and of course an instructional manual, a cheap laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instructions, the first point states, determine whether you're dealing with a zombie. Ask your alternatively living subject if they wanted to eat someone's brain. He glances skeptically at the pictures flashing in the instructions as I flip it over. Zombies, necromancer's abomination, made of bones, flesh, cabbage swirl in front of his face like a mesmerizing kaleidoscope. And all of this lives in the city sewers? I don't know how you're going to use the bathrooms now. It would be great if you didn't notice that. Why do I have to deal with all this? I steal a glance at my visitor. I wonder if the werewolves just called him up or if he managed to kill someone too. My instincts, something out of the Stone Age, suggests that he could have. The guy has a killer's gaze. You see someone like him in the alley, your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. I lower my eyes. Next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could werewolves leave? David listens to this with pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal for valor. Something like that. He said as if he didn't care, but I know better. I'm dying of laughter. He chuckles happily, trying to hide a glimmer of pride behind humor, but I won't be fooled. David is no longer just a wounded sucker. He is a true gladiator, having survived with rapid beasts. Absolutely epic. I read through what medication I need and grab the regenerating extract for alternatively living in 5 forms. All that's left is to apply this. I dip my fingers into the jar and suddenly he grabs my hand. Do something wrong and I'll rip your tonsils out through your ass. Well, I suppose it's a matter of experience, probably. And you, well, watch what you're doing, or there'll be consequences. It seems he just heard the best compliment of his life. I applied this black goo to the wound. A puff steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm, not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your squid manager. Well, we all hope for that, buddy. My movements become slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching his skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscles in his back and shoulders relax slightly. He's still wound up, but relief is starting to wash over him. Naturally, no thank yous or pleases from him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something to my ass every 5 seconds. What are you talking about? What nights? What battles? I fought in the alley, stinking of urine, and a bunch of dirty werewolves for territory on the outskirts of this godforsaken city. They tore my pants, and I had to get a new pair of Junkie, who was lying in this puddle nearby. What am I? A knight of what? The knight of tore pants? Oh, go to hell. David says this almost affectionately. It seems we're making progress in our relationship. I finish up. Surprisingly, the wounds are really healing. The scars won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all this? The question is asked in an astonishingly serious tone. He's driving me crazy, even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. Let's see. Why? David is confused. In his system of beliefs, action equals benefit. I'm throwing a wrench into his flawless, long-running mechanism. Ha! I knew it from the beginning, doll. You clearly have a few screws loose in your head if you get pleasure from this. I won't even bother asking what those fetishes are. I just want to sleep in my coffin without any nightmares. Alright, moving on. Screw this. I honestly don't care what's going on in your head. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. He clears his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought he didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe, so I don't scare off this rare exotic display a pilot is. He says that word as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually the case. Just a couple more seconds and he's back in front of the counter. So the client is fed, clean, and healed, and yet he's still here, not putting any money on the counter. Then the chip jar is lacking. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead he looks lost. David is lost in thought, in that gloomy little place that occupies his mind. This seemingly simple question stumps him. David frowns and looks past me for a while before responding. Yeah, you could do something. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to regular human in a long time. I wonder, by my regular human, does he mean my extremely natural essence? I'm no vampire, werewolf, or theming gnome. Or does he mean my lack of criminal record and absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for a perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a gray collar. Does your face always look that funny when you're thinking about something? I don't even get the chance to respond to his jab before he follows up. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're a free vampire, able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where would you go? David looked at me expectantly. A whole lot. We're practically a superhero league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind that in reality, bloodsuckers can be way scarier than in sappy movies for girls. It looks like he's watched Twilight. Interesting. Some of us not only drink human blood, but also capture people to experiment on them. They turned human bodies into real nightmares of flesh and bones. Dr. Morrow couldn't even imagine. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make you work for them for eternity, literally. Seems like I already have one of those sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking his bills. There he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. And there are those who can make your head explode, literally, with a glance. Not all of us are wicked bastards. We don't even have to kill a person to eat. Just drink a little, instead of gorging yourself like a pig at the throw. Some don't even care. They just drain the blood and splash it everywhere. The forensic team is baffled why the person turned into a sprinkler before dying. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. I've got a decent lit stuff I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it. You never get tired. You party all night long. Fuck all night long. You're stronger than 10 dogs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf dogs. That might take some effort. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny bat. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. You feel something. You see everything. You hear a rat piss a block away. I don't want to hear. Oh Lord, Nickel, that's just the idiom. You can learn what you want. All vampires would go insane if that was true. Do I look like a madman? Politely, I decide to stay silent. He continues. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. It's one thing to scare someone shitless. They just give in just to avoid being harmed. It's one thing to scare someone shitless. They give in just to avoid being harmed. It's another one they act full of confidence that it's what they want. They don't even realize they're just a vampire pawns now. Yes, I think I get it. He pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. These are the words of someone stuck in the web of artificial connections and as-related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsion aren't the best foundation for a strong friendship. He lets out a quiet chuckle. Well, not exactly friends, more like underlings. You can hatch all sort of cunning plans with human politicians or, well, pay no rent. The last part sounds like music to my ears. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Oh, sure they can. But they can't drink beer afterward. When I just recently turned about 2 years ago, I tried to eat spaghetti. Not the smartest decision. He seemed to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are about. David looks at me expectantly. Um... He doesn't answer right away. He just furious about several minutes pass in silence. Some old stinking jerk. A lot is mixed into those 4 words, as if he both hates and mourns the old jerk. Probably that guy wasn't contender for his father of the year. I wait for him to continue, but he remains silent. He looks like an angry cornered dog. It's unlikely he'd speak up on his own. Don't call him that, damn it. Don't you dare. The rage in his eyes shifts to confusion just for a brief moment before he looks away. I mean, yeah, call him whatever you want, including old stinking jerk. That jerk suffered from power seizures. That's all is to say about him. No amount of booze could erase what that damn villain did to my memory. I suppose all old vampires are like that. It seems he won't tell me more about his vampire dad. He looks at me expectantly. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch emo crap. I hold dramatic pause. David looks like a cornered animal. He stares at the floor, then at the ceiling, anywhere but me. Finally, he lets out a loud sigh, filled with disappointment and embarrassment. Fine, damn it. Alright, I watched everything. All Twilight movies. Watched The Lost Boys, interviewed with the Vampire Blade. The idiot who bit me didn't explain anything beyond the basics, like, don't go out in the sun, you little punk. I thought maybe these stupid movies had a clue, you know. Hidden in all that shitty, silly romance and melodrama. Most of it turned out to be bullshit. I read legends, searched for info online. As you imagine, all supernatural beings try to give themselves away, but sometimes you stumble upon bits and pieces. Or crazies. One or the other. My favorite, by the way, was From Dusk Till Dawn. Too bad vampires don't explode in real life. Well, no more tanning. No reflection in mirrors. If you were ugly before, it's actually bonus, right? You can enter without an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holding water is trickier. Depends on the situation. The steak works, but piercing your chest would be quite the challenge. Piercing any part of you is quite the challenge, actually. Our skin is steel, unless particularly persistent werewolf comes along. Well, at least you can enter without invitation. No need for unnecessary chit-chat with people. David looks at me. He opens his mouth and ready to tell me off or mention something about butts again, but he stops himself. His probably thank you sealed our fragile friendship. I'll tell you, but it's not relevant. Well, it's nothing. I was nobody. I was just surviving. Everything went to hell. I'm like those bastards born with a silver spoon up their ass. Ever see those happy American families in TV commercials? They sit at the table with a bowl of salad, smiling like idiots. And they always have a dog. Well, that wasn't my case. My stepdad was a crazy guy who thought the best birthday gift was to smack on the head. He did teach me how to shoot properly, though. I left my family dump early. It was really dumb, but I thought it's a start a band and become a rock star. But as they say, wish in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up faster. At first I worked wherever I could, then I found some guys to do some shady stuff with. There weren't many ways to make a living in Los Angeles area. Can't exactly work the cash register, right? David jabs again without malice. The antisocial environment made him resentful of the middle and upper classes, but it hasn't affected me yet. I wonder why. He lets out a quiet chuckle. Come on, life isn't fun as it is in TV shows. Mostly we just sold diluted crap to junkies and solved problems. Sometimes no person, no problem, you know? I prefer the part about motorcycles. That's it, that's the whole story. What about you? Oh lord, this is my chance to make us something cool or just tell it like it is. He listens how I ended up in this stuff about my job search and everything else. I didn't sell drugs in alleys, but it seems we still find some common ground. Got it. You're not in your element. David truly understands. Neither he nor I wanted to end up where we are. Neither of us knows what to do next. We both love cheap noodles. He can't eat them anymore. I win. You must be tired of draw me requests, huh? I'll even draw you. Oh, like a French girl? He tries to look nonchalant, but his eyes shows he's interested. Go ahead, I love beautiful doodles. He said the word doodles with a strange tenderness that sounds more like a compliment than an insult. I pick up a pencil. Let's see. Draw something funny or draw some nonsense. Let's try to draw nonsense. Wow, what a face. I almost forgot what I looked like. Bags under my eyes like a junkie. Silence hanging in the air while David examines the drawing. He clearly doesn't know how to react to this unexpected little act of normalcy. Looks cool. The last words are spoken in the barely audible, almost whisper, unlike anything I ever heard from him before. Two simple words said with all sincerity this guy could muster. I can do something too. David takes a pencil from me and with a deep concentration, almost sticking out his tongue, scribbles something. A few minutes later, a drawing appears before me. Oh, that is so... Oh, I like it. I would never thought this guy was capable of that. Oh, how beautiful. David clears his throat, embarrassed. Nothing special, just a doodle. A doodle is a doodle, and I love doodles, okay? Okay, if you're an artist watching this, I love to see like any creations, like OC arts or anything like that. Yeah, for me, doodle's a doodle. I love little doodles, so if you can draw, try to draw. Even a stick figure, I still count as art. Because you created it. So, art is art, whatever form it is. That's all I want to say for right now. I was into it a bit when I was a kid. Comments, all that stuff, nothing serious. I take the drawing for myself. Alright, where were we? Yeah, a lot of people think about that first. But it's a bad idea to leave chill bodies of people you were somehow connected to. And if your head quickly fills up with other things like, well, the fact that you're dead and it's forever. I usually beat them up right at school. Ah, right. You might think I was some kind of bully constantly pulling pranks, but I was actually quiet in class. Just messing around at the back of the class like an invisible man. Until some jerk started picking on me once I smashed a glove over a guy's head because he mocked my sneakers. As if wearing clothes from Walmart made me worse than them. Good thing we don't have gloves here. Excellent. He leans a little closer, but suddenly we hear a wolf howling. I don't have time to blink before David vanishes. Now he's a little bat hiding behind the counter. Listen up, don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave. You'll feel shitty. Trust me, if you rat on me to that mutt, I'll find a way to get out, twist your head off. The threat in his voice is completely accurate, mostly because this voice now comes from a very small, little angry werewolf. A werewolf is about to come here now. Oh! The creature stepped inside. This is where we leave off part 2 of this series. I love this game so much. I love the new character we met, David the Vampire Man. What do you think of him so far? And ooh, it looks like the next episode we'll be seeing the werewolf. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for more notifications from me whenever I upload a new video. See you next time again. Bye bye.